The water. It's the water.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
That's what I said. That's why I said it, dork. This seat got me feeling short right now.
All right, go. Wash your hands after.
Let me check this out real quick and we get started real quick.
All right.
Hey, go ahead and check in. I know your name ain't Denny's. Go ahead and check in.
Huh?
Shalom, Lord Christ. Hey, Shalom, Lord Christ, Adawan. What's going on, sir? All right. Let me see. Let's just about to see. Oh yeah. All right, so Facebook. It's not letting me. You got Facebook? You got are you following ISUPK California? It's cool. Actually, it's Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. If you see it, I gotta it's not letting me go to the page for some reason. Okay, maybe it's not on there. I don't think we on Facebook. ISUPK, no, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. It's not on Facebook. Let me see real quick. No, I should be on there. All right, screw. We just about to get to it. Snoopy Ball. All right, let's get going. Hey, Shalom, sis. What's going on? Santa Clarita? I never heard of that. All right, I don't know if we on Facebook or not, but we just about to get it going. Screw it. It should be on there. Yeah, it should be on. If it's not, it's fine. All right. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Shalom. Water for everybody tuning in. All right, let's get to it. Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakathum to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alatham Bashem Yahushua to the sisters. We got Wednesday law class. We're going to be getting into breaking the curses, right? Okay. Pasadena checking in. Okay. All right. Okay, we got some Californians checking in. Okay, that's cool. All right, that's real wild. All right, so we're going to be getting into breaking the curses, right? So let's get into it. First, let's see. Let me get my notes out real quick. All right, I got it. All right, so let's get into breaking the curses, right? So now we're gonna get into Deuteronomy 28, chapter 28, right? We're gonna get into the curses that was brought to, well, that was warned to Israel by Moses. How can I say? Appointed from the Most High, right? So the Most High the Most High gave Moses directions on exactly what was going to happen to Israel if we decided to break the covenant, right? So this is right before we agreed to the covenant to the Lord, or this is when Moses is he's up speaking with the Lord, you know what I mean, getting directions on everything it needs we needed as far as like making our government, right? So we're going to get into breaking these curses because us as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are under a curse. You know what I mean? The Most High cursed Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans because we chose not to follow him. We chose to follow ways of the heathen. Jaden, can you tell her to quiet down a little bit? And can you turn it down a little bit? We chose not to serve the Most High. We chose not to follow his covenant, not to follow his commandments, not to follow his laws, his statutes. We decided that, I mean, serving other gods would be better for us. And this is the curses were warned to us in Deuteronomy chapter 28, because the Lord wanted to reassure that about how important this covenant was that we had to him. Right? How important this promise was that we had to the Most High. You know what I mean? You make a promise to the Most High, you need to keep it wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? And you need to stand by whatever you promised. Now, Israel made a promise to the Most High that we would follow these directions that he gave us. You know what I mean? These laws, these directions that he gave us, this lifestyle that he gave us, we promised that we would follow it, and we did everything but from the beginning. From when we got the covenant, right? We were already in the bottom of that mountain serving other gods. You know what I mean? Making other idols to serve, other than serving the Most High God who led us out of that captivity that we were in Egypt. You know what I mean? Same thing goes for us as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today within this nation called America. You know what I mean? The same thing goes with us today. We still do not follow the Most High. We follow other gods. We serve other idols. We make up doctrines that satisfy us in our flesh, that make it easy for us to have a relationship with God, which is everything but, you know what I'm saying? Because the Most High gave us specific directions and specific things to follow as far as when it comes to serving him. And we chose to do everything but. You know what I mean? Shalom, sis, what's going on? So because we chose everything but, we were put under curses that led us into the lifestyle that we see today. You know what I mean? Brothers killing brothers. You know what I mean? I'm talking about us as a majority, because I got to keep pushing that out, because people will look at their lives and just feel like, oh yeah, well, I got a decent job, I got a degree, and I'm, you know what I mean, I got a nice apartment or a condo, or I got a nice home and all that stuff like that. And they feel like, you know what I mean, they're not under any curse. But us as a people, you know what I mean, us as a nation, we are cursed people. You know what I mean? You are living under someone else's nation, someone else's oppression. You know what I'm saying? You are living under a heathen's nation who you should be on top of at this moment. You know what I mean? All Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans should be ruling this world right now. Especially that we are chosen by the Most High. We are God's chosen people. You know what I mean? We should be ruling this nation. We shouldn't be under anybody. We shouldn't be paying taxes to no one. You know what I mean? We should be the ones receiving taxes. We should be the ones giving orders. We should be the ones giving direction. You know what I mean? But we can't do that because we are under these curses, because we decided to live wickedly. You know what I mean? We decided to follow someone else's doctrines, someone else's ways of living. You know what I mean? So we're going to get into it, but you know what I mean, a little bit more into that. Like, you know what I mean? So going back to Moses, it's like, you know what I mean, the Lord warned us before he gave us the covenant. The Lord gave us the warning before we even chose to agree to even serve this covenant, right? So before you even get the agreements to the covenant, and even also when before Moses even started to give the covenant to the children of Israel, you know what I mean, he gave them warning also. And he said, do you agree with this? You know what I mean? And we agreed that we were going to serve this covenant. Once we agreed, it's a forever thing. It's not just a oh yeah, well, we agreed at that time period, but now we got a different ways of living. Like, no, if we agree to serve the Most High, we agree to follow his laws, that covenant stands. Even though the churches will tell you that the laws and the covenant is done away with, it's not. You know what I mean? Like you get in Jeremiah 30, you know what I mean? Or you get all throughout the Bible, the Lord turned his back on us, but still prophesied that he would still bring us back into the covenant. And us being in the covenant, there's rules that we have to follow. You know what I mean? We have to serve the high holy days. We have to give up shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. Stop eating all those bottom feeding, you know what I mean, unlawful things. We have to stop sleeping with our brothers' wives. You know what I mean? We have to live righteously. You know what I mean? All the laws that the Lord gave us is a righteous way of living. You know what I mean? And we don't even live that way as we speak. And that's why we are dying at such a rapid rate. That's why our women are getting abortions and killing their own young. That's why, you know what I mean, our men are, you know what I mean, being locked up at rapid rates. You know what I'm saying? Like Officer Eitazan was saying in camp, like, you know what I mean, like slavery still exists. And whoever told you that it doesn't is lying to you, because the majority in those jail cells are all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? You know what I mean? And they're working for pennies, you know what I mean, an hour, pennies an hour, right? So that's slavery right there. And that's exactly what slavery is, right? So let's go. Let's see. Should we get into this right now? Okay, so back to the curses, right? So we are a cursed people. Like the Lord warned us that these curses would come upon us. You know what I mean, if we did not follow the ways that he told us to live, the directions that he told us to follow. You know what I mean? And these curses, us as a whole, as a nation, are under curses. You know what I mean? Which is why you see all the damaging, traumatizing things that happen to us today. You know what I mean? Which is why we live under someone else's democracy. You know what I mean? Which is why we see our people never rising to a high position. We sat there and seen a Hamite become president and thought that we were winning. We thought that our own nation made something happen finally within this place. You know what I mean? Not even knowing that this man is not even one of us. You know what I mean? Hey, Shalom, Lord Christ, what's going on, Atazan? You know what I mean? This was a Hamite. This was an African man who wasn't part of the 12 tribes, wasn't part of our nation, wasn't part of being of the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He became president, and not only that, all of our people jumped up and went out of our way, called off of work and everything like that. You know what I mean? Canceled whatever plans we had just to make sure that we went out and go vote for this Hamite. You know what I mean? Because we felt like we were finally getting a win within this nation. And as long as we've been in this place, that's a sad situation. That's a real sad situation when you feel like you have to go above and beyond just to feel like you're getting some type of crumb from the table of America. You know what I mean? That's a sad situation, because it should be everything but. You know what I mean? When Christ was out, you know what I mean, and that Syrophoenician woman was coming to try to receive some type of I can't say, she was trying to receive some type of blessing to her daughter, that her daughter could be relieved from that spirit that was on her. You know what I mean? Christ, it's like she compared herself to a dog that don't dogs eat crumbs from the table? But look at us now. You know what I mean? And when you get into Deuteronomy chapter 28, you know what I mean? The Lord tells us everything that we would get if we followed his laws first. All the good things, the kingdom, the everything. He tells us everything that we will receive by following his laws. And then he goes into the complete opposite of what happens if we don't follow his laws. Now we're on the complete opposite end. We're the dogs trying to receive some type of crumb from the table of America. And that is disgusting. That is despiteful for who we truly are, because really we truly should be the people who are the haves and not the have not. You know what I'm saying? We should be the ones that should be on the ones on top, and not the ones that are sitting over here waiting for a nation to give us anything just to show that they love us. You know what I mean? We should be the ones that are thriving and receiving all the benefits for everything that we do. You know what I mean? But we don't receive anything, because we built this country, and we received nothing from it. Absolutely nothing from it. We put in all the hard work, the inventions, everything. You know what I mean? That's like you know what I mean, what Captain Gadalhar and all of them was getting into about, like, you know what I mean, Osalakia, Captain Tazariak and Captain Karatazat, Osalakia Katazat, the ones that they were getting into how much we were put into this nation, all the inventions and the heart surgeries, down to the train tracks, the trains, the peanut butter. You know what I mean? Everything, all the breakdown to everything that we helped build this country into, we received none of the benefits for it. We've always been in the ghettos. We've always had to thrive just to receive a position in any type of corporation that is around here. We had to strive our hardest just to fit in. You know what I'm saying? We had to die rapidly just to be able to fit in this country. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were abused, beaten, hung, and burned just for trying to be equal, just to try to be a person, just to be compared as a person. Because before, we weren't looked at as people. We were looked at as like animals. You know what I mean? Just dirty animals that, you know what I mean, every time when somebody would walk past us or look at us, they would just give the stank face, like, you know what I mean, like these people, like, you know what I mean? That's how it was for us in this nation. And we had to thrive to become where we're at right now. And just look at our people now, just destroyed. You know what I mean? Women willing to do whatever they can, you know what I mean, just expose as much as themselves as possible just to have some type of acceptance to our oppressors. You know what I'm saying? Just to have some type of gift, as far as a nice purse or a nice vacation. You know what I mean? A little bit of change in your pocket. They're willing to give up the most precious thing that they have just to receive these things. You know what I mean? Our men are willing to destroy our people with drugs and self-hate. You know what I mean? Self-destruction, just to be able to get some type of money in their pocket. You know what I mean? Just to be able to try to live the American dream, which was for us was being a famous rapper or a famous drug dealer. That's all we had. Those are the only options that we were given to be able to be successful within this nation. You know what I'm saying? So this is what this place has brought us to. Our women are destroyed. Our children are being brought up even more destroyed, being pushed so many different programs that they don't even know what to do with themselves. Homosexuality, being a whore, being like having to expose yourself and to sleep with the rich man just to be able to live a treatable lifestyle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Having to rap about, you know what I mean, killing your brothers and sleeping with your brother's ribs, and, you know what I mean, doing all these different things of destruction just to be able to be accepted. And this is what our children are being brought up into. You know what I mean? I'm saying all these things because all these things are going to fly into the examples of what we're about to get into as we read through the curses. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So we're going to get into the curses first, and then we're going to try to get into what we can do, what is our job to do to break these curses. Because breaking the curses is not just going to come from just sitting back and waiting for God's prophecies to come about. You know what I mean? It takes hard work, it takes dedication, it takes waking up all brothers and sisters. We have to expose who the devil is in this Bible. We have to expose who are the true deceivers in this Bible. Going to the Christian churches and the Catholic Church. We have to expose all these things. And it's not going to come just from sitting around. You know what I mean? It's not going to come from just us laying around waiting for Christ to do it. You know what I mean? Waiting for the Most High to do it. It's going to come from us getting our butts up and getting to work. You know what I mean? Getting into this body and getting to work. Because it's easy to be misled into someone else. We was getting into that last week about, you know what I mean, trying to avoid false doctrines in order to get yourself prepared for the last days. You know what I'm saying? Because these false doctrines are going to lead you into a position where you're still doing the wrong thing, even though you think that's what you're doing is right. You know what I mean? Only because you left Christianity doesn't mean that you left Christianity. You know what I'm saying? You could be following a whole different doctrine other than Christianity and still be following Christianity. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, this is our job. We are supposed to work and supposed to get this truth out. You know what I mean? The real truth. And we are supposed to challenge whoever tries to go at battle with us to make it seem like what we teaching is false doctrine. You know what I mean? The Lord is a man of war, and we are here. We are servants and soldiers willing to get to work to make sure that the Lord's actual word gets out there, and not a person's perspective. You know what I mean? But getting back to it now, you know what I mean? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are Hey, Shalom, what's going on? So we all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are under a curse, right? We're under a curse. That's why we are living in poverty. That's why we are living in a situation where we're barely getting by. We're always trying to go above and beyond just to get in position. And all these different things are happening to us because we are under a curse. All these things happen to us in slavery because of the curses. All these things happen to us as far as us being brutalized and murdered by the police because we are under a curse. You know what I mean? All these things that happen to us all this time period. You look at the history of this place since the white man has got here. You look at the history of this place and you see that all these things happen. You know what I mean? And then you look into the actual curses in the Bible and you see that these things are happening to us because of this reason, because we are under these curses, right? So let's get into it. So like it, you're not gonna read no more or what? All right, well, I want you to get the first one in. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and verse 14. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 14. Keep going until I tell you to stop.
Is the mic on? Let me see. Deuteronomy.
Yeah, it's on.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 14. And it shall come to pass.
Hold on. Let me get there with you. Just a second, Select. All right, you good. Go ahead.
All right. And it shall come to pass if thou shalt.
Deuteronomy 28 and 14.
Wait, did I see that?
14, not 15.
I said 14.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 14. Okay. And thou shalt not go. 14.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 14. And it shall come to pass.
You're on the wrong verse. Could you help him out real quick?
Right here, command.
14.
Okay. All right, Deuteronomy chapter. What chapter was it?
28.
Wait. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 14. And thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command
thee.
this day, to the right hand or the left, to go after other gods to serve them.
Okay, so this is what the Lord is warning us about, right? Well, he's giving this warning to Moses before Moses gives us directions of what the Most High expects from us, right? So this is the warning that the Most High has given to us. Go ahead, start at verse 15 now.
Okay. Is it still chapter 28?
Yeah, just say verse 15.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his
Statutes.
which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Okay. So continuing with the warning, this is what's going to happen if we do not follow the commandments of the Most High. These things are going to, these curses are going to happen to us, and they're going to overtake us, right? Keep going. Verse 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
All right. So cursed thou shalt thou be in the city, cursed shalt thou be in the field. Pretty much wherever we are, we're going to be cursed. We could be scattered amongst the whole earth, but at the end of the day, we're still going to have to deal with these curses. Keep going. Verse 17.
Verse 17. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Keep going.
18. Verse 18. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep.
Okay. So cursed shalt thou be in the city. What's like here? Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body. So, you know what I mean? Thy basket and thy store, like, you know what I mean? Like, if I could just bring up an example for that, like the things that our oppressors give to us to eat is just complete garbage. You know what I mean? When you look at what the ingredients to these McDonald's, you know what I mean? Like even the stuff that they sell in the stores, like all this stuff, when you get in deep into like the genetically malfunction type of all that stuff, like the stuff that they feed us is just, it's garbage. You know what I mean? It's complete garbage. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you dig deep into the ingredients of everything that they give us, it's no different than the pig guts that they gave us in slavery. You know what I mean? It's stuff that's just going to either heighten our blood sugar, you know what I mean, heighten our blood pressure, like something, whatever they're giving us. Like it's just it's going to it's doing something to our bodies where we're not even able to live past a certain age at this point anymore. I mean, you rarely see people making it all the way to a certain age with the stuff that they're feeding us at this day at this day and age. But so like if we was on 18, there shall be the fruit of the body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Right. So, you know what I mean, you got you know what I mean, steroid pumped cows, and you know what I mean, freaking all these. Hey, Shalom Adawan, what's going on? Shalom on Lahab. You got all these different things that are wrong with the things that we consume to this day. Like it's just it's like the things that they are putting in our food and everything like that is just complete. Like it's poison. But keep going. You're on verse
19.
19.
Okay,
All right, you got it. You got it. You got it.
verse 19. Cursed shalt thou be when thou
Comest.
comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou go, goest out.
Goest out.
Goest out.
So, I mean, even when we were, if I could bring an example up on that too, like even when we were brought here on slave ships. You know what I mean? We were on the bottom of slave ships, defecating ourselves, you know what I mean, dying from diseases, from you know what I mean, from lack of whatever, like lack of food, lack of water, lack of everything. You know what I'm saying? We were like it was the strong ones who came here because a lot of people wasn't like if you had any type of thing wrong with you, you probably weren't able to make it to this place. You know what I mean? Because of how they were transporting us. Like we were shackled, chained up on the bottom of slave ships, you know what I mean, and having to defecate ourselves, be chained to the dead, like you know what I mean, a whole bunch of things that we were cursed on the way over here. And even the ones like it was so bad to the point where they had to jump, they were jumping off the boats, you know what I mean? And you had sharks following the boats, the slave boats, because they knew, you know what I mean, food was gonna come eventually, you know what I mean? So even in route of coming from where we came from, you know what I mean, it was we were still like you would have the sharks would know the route. They would follow the boats just because they know it's feeding time. You know what I mean? That's how bad it was. But yeah, curse when we were getting here, and cursed when we got here. As soon as we got off them boats, we were, you know what I mean, off to their business. To their business. We were being put in position where we were going to be sold. You know what I mean? And even when we go to you know what I mean, our Hispanic and Native American brothers and sisters, like, you know what I'm saying, when they got here, it was just all war. War was on his heart. You know what I mean? He came that our oppressors came making it seem as if they were coming with a treaty, coming with some new things, some new good things. And what did they do? You know what I mean? They murdered us with diseases and by the sword. You know what I'm saying? That was on their hearts the whole time. Was to and when you get into the quote of Columbus, when he's talking about these are hospitable people, they will be a easy to overcome. You know what I'm saying? They would be easy to enslave. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Shalom, what's going on? You know what I mean? That's what was on Columbus's heart when he got here. You know what I mean? This is what happened to us during that time period. But go ahead and keep reading.
Verse 20. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing,
Vexation,
vexation, and rebuke, in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do until thou be destroyed, and until thou
perish quickly,
because of the
wickedness
of thy doings,
whereby
thou hast forsaken me.
Right. So the Lord shall send upon thee cursings, vexation, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. Right. So pretty much just going into the warning of this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen to us if we choose to forsake the Most High, right? But keep going. We're gonna go into verse 22 and then we'll be done.
Verse 21. The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee until he have consumed consume thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it.
Okay, so heavy right here because it says the Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee until he have consumed thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it. So this land, like, even when we get into what happened to us of losing Israel, you know what I mean, losing our land that we had, you know what I mean, to the Romans, you know what I mean, when we sat there and when we were treated and tried to blend in with the Africans, you know what I mean, we had to leave our own homeland and had to try to blend in with Hamites because this was a part of the curses. We lost our land. We lost the land of Israel. You know what I mean? And that's why they call us the lost sheep of the house of Israel. We lost because we had lost our land. You know what I mean? We lost our land, and not just that. Once we left, we were never being able to go back until Christ returned. Right? You know what I'm saying? So even if you get into what happened to our Native American and Salakia, our native brothers and sisters and our Latin brothers and sisters, what happened to them? This was the land given to it wasn't a land that was going to be our rest, but we were here first. Our brothers and sisters were here first. You know what I mean? And this land was taken and that pestilence is our oppressors. That pestilence that the Lord is talking about, that he's going to send a pestilence that's going to overcome and have us leave our homeland, or our leave our land, is our oppressors, right? So let me get back to it. Yeah, the Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, right? So this pestilence, which is our oppressors, and you know what I mean, they studied our ways. They found out that we were people who could be. They knew our position. You know what I mean, that the Lord wasn't with us at that time period, and they knew that we can be taken advantage of, right? So they cleaved onto us, and they possessed us, and they possessed our land. You know what I mean? They took everything from us. They took everything that we had. You know what I mean? Our Native American brothers and sisters and our Latin brothers and sisters were here, you know what I mean, minding their own business. And then what happens? This pestilence comes, and this pestilence overcomes them and the land that they're living on. You know what I mean? And what is it? What do they do? What do they always do? You know what I mean? They kill, they enslave, they rape. You know what I mean? They murder. You know what I mean? That's the pestilence, right? But give me the number verse 22 real quick.
Verse 22, the Lord shall
smite.
The Lord shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou
perish. All right, let's get our brother hand real quick. Good job. I'm gonna have you read from the next few chapters, and yeah, good job, man. But yeah, so where we at? We have verse 22. The Lord shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. So you got all these things that are happening to us today. You got cancer, you got AIDS. All these things are epidemic of things that are killing us in this nation. You know what I mean? You got all these different things that the Lord is warning us and telling us what is going to happen to us by the sword, by us dying from, you know what I mean, freaking racist white cops. You know what I mean? By infrastructure of people who do not want to see you rise. So what do? They create abortion clinics. They create, you know what I mean, all these different structures to make sure that your people do not rise higher than their people or rise against them. You know what I mean? So we've had all these things happening to us because of the curses. And we have to understand that, because if you understand the curses, you understand why you're in the position that you're in right now. A lot of our people are dealing with a lot of traumatizing situations, right? I'm talking about, like, you know what I mean, the stories never end. You know what I mean? It seems like everyone's got a story. You know what I mean, of something traumatizing that they've been through. And you know what I mean, you even got like molestation as a big thing in our communities, because you see so many homosexuality running rapid around here. You know what I mean? Like, you got so many different things that are happening to our people. Our people are unprotected. I mean, our people are unprotected. Our people are vulnerable, and in a position where we are just going to keep losing until we figure out what it needs to take for us to get ourselves out of this hell, out of this condition of being under someone else's foot, right? We need to figure those things out. And this is what it is. This is why it's happening to us. This is the reason. Now, when you have the reason, it's easier to find the solution, right? When you have the reason of all these things happening, because the Lord is telling you exactly, not only is he telling you exactly what is going to happen if you don't follow what he's saying, he's giving you the people within the description of what's happening, because this is only happening to certain people in this world, and that's all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? You know what I'm saying? This is exactly what's happening to us in this nation, because you can't put that definition into anyone else but us. You know what I mean? The captivities, the conquering of land, the being pushed out, and you know what I mean, for the not knowing who you are, where you came from. All these different things are happening to us because of exactly what's going on within these curses. And this is the curses are explaining exactly what's going to happen to us if we chose not to serve the Most High, which we did. We chose not to serve the Most High, and that's why we are in the position that we are in right now, because we chose Christmas, we chose Christianity, we chose birthdays, we chose all these different things that have absolutely nothing to do with our culture, with our nation, with the covenant that we had for the Most High. We chose all these things that didn't have anything to do with those things, and now we are sitting in a position where we are the ones that have to keep suffering. We are the ones who keep on getting indoctrinated to kill ourselves, to kill our people, to destroy our people, to destroy our women, to destroy our children. We are in all these positions. We are in these positions because we chose not to serve the Most High, and this is a curse. Now, what do we need to do to break the curses? Well, we ain't even off the curses yet. Let's keep going. Let's see, because the curses ain't even done yet. Well, that was the verse. Which one? Verse 24. Oh, we went to verse 22. So let me get okay. So let me get Deuteronomy 28 and 24 through 25 real quick. Let me come over here real quick so you can they can hear you in the mic. Baba Kashaw.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 24. The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten or smitten.
Where you at right now?
Verse 25.
Verse 25. The Lord shall be smitten.
Smitten. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
So, in the promises of what should happen if we follow the ways of the Most High, we were the ones that were supposed to you know what I mean? What does it say again? Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them. You know what I mean? We were the ones that were supposed to come at them one way and they flee 7 ways. That was what was promised for us if we were to follow the ways of the Most High. But because we did not, you know what I mean, it's the complete opposite. Now we are scattered amongst all the world because we sat there and had to run from our own homeland. Why? It's because it was being able to be overcome by heathens. You know what I mean? It was able to be overcome by heathens. We had to scatter from our own homeland. So now we're all over the world, all scattered amongst the whole world just because of the simple fact that we did not follow the Most High, because our land was gifted to us. The Lord gave us our land. You know what I mean? He was with us within those battles of taking over our land. You know what I mean? And we had our land, we had our kingdoms, and we lost it because we chose to keep serving different gods, different doctrines, different everything. Anything that didn't have to do with living righteously, we decided to serve those things. And we still see our people doing it today. Even in the midst of World War III, our people are still out here trying to find some type of distraction, trying to find some way to feel like, okay, all oppressors are going to find a way and they are going to protect us and they are going to overcome this whole situation and it's going to get better. You know what I mean? It hasn't got better since the pestilence has started in 2019, 2020. It hasn't gotten better. It's just been getting worse. But we sitting over here waiting for our oppressors to find a way to put us back on track where we can be blinded again. We can put our blindfolds back on and we can just keep living lifestyles that are non-productive, non-essential to us, and doesn't create us to be anything other than our comfort zone. You know what I mean? That's the mindset that we're in right now. You know what I mean? It's millions of people sitting back waiting for America to figure it out. You know what I mean? Right now, to this day, they're still waiting for America to just figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And that's how desperate our people are, because without our oppressors, they're nothing. They don't exist without our oppressors, and that's a sad way to live. You know what I mean? Because if you are living a lifestyle, if you're living a lifestyle where you are so dedicated to someone else's when you are so what's the word I'm looking for? You're so much in need of someone else's authority that you are not unable to exist without it. You know what I mean? You are less than dirt. You know what I'm saying? You're like a pet. You're like a pet because you feel like you need these. You feel like you need the people who have been sitting over here raping, robbing, and killing us since day one, since we met them, or you feel like you need them in order just to be able to continue this lifestyle that you got. You know what I'm saying? People love America so much, they don't want to lose this lifestyle. They don't want to lose the turn up. They don't want to lose all these particular things. You know what I mean? But the Lord says do away with those things. You know what I'm saying? We have to do away with those things in order to be able to get out of these curses. We have to get out of being in this mindset of this world in order to be able to step into living righteously, right? So that was okay. So right here. So the Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against. Okay, so we got into that already. Let's see. Let me get Deuteronomy 28 and 30 through 33.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house.
Hold on. Let me hear that one more time. Let me go into the mic real quick.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her.
So you're going to get with this woman. Tell me this is the norm now. You know what I'm saying? This is the norm now. These women are sleeping with everybody. You know what I mean? In a relationship, outside of a relationship, what do they say? Like the women is the most sneakiest. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're going to be in a position where you find this woman that you want to marry. You know what I'm saying? You want to marry this woman, and what is she going to do? She's going to lie with another brother. You know what I'm saying? This is a part of the curses. So you got to think also the way that our destroyed women are thinking is a part of a curse. You know what I mean? It's a part of the curse. Why is it part of the curse? Because they don't know that they know better, but they don't know no better. All they know is that I'm just going to keep on trying to pick the man with the best wallet or the best looks or the best, you know what I mean, whatever they're attracted to. They're going to keep on jumping from man to man, not knowing that, you know what I mean, that is just complete wickedness. You know what I mean? You're supposed to choose your man and you're supposed to stick with that man through thick and thin. You know what I mean? And you and be an example wife, and yet you're more so being an opportunist. You're just looking for the next come up. You know what I mean? Okay, he got money, but he got the looks. He got the looks, but he got the style. He dresses nice, and they're just jumping from man to man to man to man, and there's no end to their destruction. Because they're going to keep going and going and going and going until it gets to a point where they're not even, they have no value to themselves and to the world. You know what I mean? Their value is just gone. I mean, once they step into the next man, the value's gone already. You know what I'm saying? What more can you offer that anything that a woman that is next to you is not doing? All of y'all are just jumping from men to men to men to men. You know what I mean? Making it seem as if, oh yeah, the ideal that I have in my brain is supposed to be the man that I get in reality. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a part of the curses. So the confusion that is in our sisters' brains, the emotions and insecurities that they feel is all a part of the curses, right? But keep going.
Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein.
Right.
Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. Thy sons and thine daughters.
Okay, hold on. Before you get to sons and daughters, we're gonna get back into us building and not receiving, us, you know what I mean, planting and not reaping the benefits of any of those things. Like that's exactly what we do within this nation today. We sit over here and we work at the bottom of trillion-dollar, billion-dollar companies. You know what I mean? But the companies could never flourish without us. We put in the hard labor, we put in the hard work, we do all these things in order to be it to reassure that we have some type of income coming in. But what the work that we're doing is causing people who do absolutely nothing to become billionaires, to become millionaires. You know what I mean? But the manual work is for us. You know what I mean? You see the Latin brothers and sisters, they out there on the fields. You know what I mean? Putting in the good work for all these different wineries and grocery stores and all these different things. They're putting in so much work, but they're receiving none of the benefits of it. We still walk around struggling just to be able to pay bills, struggling just to be able to even find a home to live in. Like, you know what I mean? They barely pay us enough to be able to have a living situation. You have to have somebody helping you. You know what I mean? Like you better be in some type of relationship, or you know what I mean. A lot of us brothers don't really have the benefits that, you know what I mean. That our oppressors given to some of our sisters. You know what I'm saying? But because like when it comes to like the educational system, when it comes to like the workforce and everything like that, they don't allow us to raise up like they'll allow some of our sisters to do. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we're working out for pennies out the dollar, right? But go ahead and keep going because we're running out of time right now.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
Now we've seen that physically, and there is a mental perspective to that too. You know what I mean? Because you could lose your damn child just by allowing them to sit in front of the TV, allowing them to sit in front of the computer. You can lose your child. Hey, Shalom, Adawan, what's going on, sir? You know what I mean? You can lose your child just by allowing them to go to school because they'll be taught a bunch of stuff that is absolutely nothing to do with anything. It's a bunch of lies. You can lose your child by letting them go to school and being around other kids who, you know what I mean, got like destroyed parents. You know what I mean? You can lose your child just by living by your means. If you can't afford living in a nice area and you got to take your butt to the ghettos, and this is a spot that is heavily populated with gangbanging, you can lose your child through gangbanging. You know what I'm saying? Because that child is just going to adapt to their environment. And while they see every day is gangbangers, you know what I mean, pimps and prostitution and drug addicts, you know what I'm saying? You can lose your child to that too. But there was also a physical aspect of it also when we sat over here and we were brought to this country, and the first thing they did was snatch our babies out of our hands and sold them. You know what I mean? When you go to the Trail of Tears, those babies were snatched out of some of those women's off the teat of the women and bashed against a damn tree. You know what I'm saying? Like murdered brutally. Shalom, sis, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Those things were happening to us at a time period. And it's just crazy, you know what I mean, that our mentality right now is just like we will forgive for that. You know what I mean? These things are written in a book, and these things are written in books, and these things are also seen today of what they still do to our children. You know what I mean? On how brutally they treat our children. You know what I mean? When you had what's his name? It's so many of them, Salakia, but the young man with the hoodie on, Trayvon Martin, right? You know what I mean? He was probably your age. You know what I'm saying? All he's doing is just walking around, you know what I mean, coming from the store. And what happens to him because of where he was at and how he looks, because he was a black man, he had to be murdered, because the same people who were sitting over there snatching us from our mothers and bashing us against trees, killing us, are the same people who are shooting us for no reason, killing us for no reason, brutalizing our children, our women. Like, we're gonna get into it. I mean, we still got some more on the curses, but you know, I mean, the curses is about to get into how the people who are going to be over us will have no sympathy for the young, the old, the women, the children. None of that. They won't have any type of sympathy, and they have not had it since we've been here. You know what I mean? Talk to, if you got an elder, talk to somebody who's in their 80s or in their late 70s, and ask them, how did they treat kids? How did they treat women? How did they treat, you know what I mean, old people? You know what I'm saying? And it's and the brutality never changed. They had no sympathy for nobody. It didn't matter who you were. If you were Black, Hispanic, or Native American, you were going to be brutalized regardless. Whether if you were a baby all the way up to you were too old to even get up out the bed, you were going to be brutalized. And it was a sport for them. It was fun. It was game. You know what I'm saying? There's pictures that they took. You know what I mean? It was like how we go to the movies to go watch a movie. You know what I mean? If they knew they was hanging a nigga, they would go and they would crowd around. The whole town would crowd around and they would get ready. Oh yeah, we got us a good show about to happen right now. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? The same thing. And they would hang and murder our brothers and sisters, and they would treat it as if it was entertainment, right? This is what's going on with us. And this is all a part of what the Most High is saying right now. You know what I mean? Most High is talking about that they will take our children, and we would long for them, but we wouldn't be able to get them. And that was happening to us in slavery. They were taking our children, and those children were not able to ever see their parents ever again. They would go into captivity, and they would have to work, and not even know who their own damn parents were, man. This happened to us. This is real. This is not just something written down. This actually happened. You know what I mean? But go ahead, keep going.
Verse 33, the fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed away. So thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see.
And the fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up of thy land. If people are talking about that Native American, our Native brothers and sisters and our land brothers and sisters are not part of the 12 tribes, this is telling you right now of thy land. This land was taken. You know what I mean? This land was not discovered, it was taken. You know what I mean? Our Latin and Native brothers and sisters were here first, and they took this land, they robbed, they raped, they murdered, like they always do. And then not just that, we were subjected to develop wealth for them for free. Now, we sat there, we picked cotton, picked corn, built cities, built this whole nation, and we reaped none of the benefits for it. That's exactly what he's talking about in this paragraph. You know what I'm saying? We sat there and we put in the hard work. We're going to sit in here and put the hard work in, but we will reap none of the benefits of anything that we've put in the work for. We'll go back to the ghettos as soon as we done making sure that the suburbs look clean. You know what I mean? As soon as we dump the garbage cans of the people in the suburbs, we're gonna head right back to our ghettos, right when we clock out of our shift. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep going. Let's keep going for time's sake.
Verse 35, the Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs.
What verse did you stop on?
Verse 35.
35. Okay, we was only supposed to go to 33. Salakia. But let's go to Deuteronomy 36 through 39. 36 through 39. Because we ain't got enough time to go through everything that's on there.
38.
36 through 39.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 36.
28. Go.
The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone.
All right, so the Lord is going to bring us into a land that we don't know, which is, you know what I mean, if you get into to Judites, Benjamites, and you know what I mean, we get into the southern kingdom, we had to be brought here, you know what I'm saying? And when we were brought here, we were brought by people who we didn't know their language, didn't know what language they spoke or who they were. You know what I mean? They brought us into a land that we didn't know. And they, Salakia, my screen just went black. 36. They made us serve their gods, wood and stone, right? Wood being like Christianity, you know what I mean, the cross, or stone being like the Quran, you know what I mean, serving that rock. What's going on? Okay, go back, go share. So wood and stone Christianity, or you know what I mean, but it gets more deeper than that. It's Roman Catholicism, it's all that stuff. You know what I mean, all those different gods that they brought to this place. You know what I mean, that they forced us to serve. That's why we serve Valentine's Day. That's why we serve Christmas. That's why we serve Thanksgiving. That's why we serve Easter. All these different things, because they have something to do with their gods and them forcing us to serve their gods, whether if it's out in the open, or if in the deceitful way of the way they're doing it right now, where they try to put all the children involved and all the love and kisses and stuff involved just to deceive you. You know what I mean? That's why they are the devil that the Bible speaks of. You know what I mean? Because they deceive us and making it seem the cobblestone, the water, so hey, shalom too. Shalom. Yeah. So all these different things that they'll sit there and they'll put some icing on top of some so like it's some bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Like they'll put some icing on top of some crap and make it seem as if it's a beautiful cake. You know what I'm saying? But really, it's just them deceiving you. It's just them making you serve their gods without putting out their gods in the open. You know what I'm saying? But that's all that is right there. But keep going.
Verse 37. Thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee.
Where you at?
Just ended verse 37.
37? Read that one more time. Because that's heavy right there.
Verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
And when you get into those things that we are, we're nothing but like an example of what? Poverty, of animalism. Like they look at us like we're nothing. They look at us like we're these violent, just dumb people. And then they said and then the curses say that we would be nothing but a byword. Niggas. You know what I mean? Let's just keep it real. That's how they see us everywhere we go, whether if it's professional or non-professional. They see us as niggas, or they want to add in that hard ER at the end. You know what I'm saying? But regardless of the fact is, we were a byword. You know what I mean? And don't think that just, you know what I mean, black people were just called niggas. Latinos were called niggas. You know what I'm saying? And Native Americans were called niggas. We were a byword. We were something that, and they needed that byword to keep us in a position of putting us in an animal position, that we were just nothing but animals, what's the word I'm like? Non-civilized beings. We were just animals. We just wanted to hump and kill and eat. That's it. Savages. Right. And they called our native brothers and sisters savages. I mean, that was a byword for them also. You know what I mean? But yeah, keep going.
Verse 38. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shalt gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it.
To 39.
Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them.
Right. So that's, you know what I mean, pretty much still going into like us getting into the laboring of building this place. You know what I mean? Build just our works in general would mean nothing. Either they would be accredited to a heathen, or it would just be taken and we would be forgotten of. It doesn't matter how great of anything that we did, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter how great of whatever we did, because at the end of the day, it wasn't our nation, and the credit would always go to our oppressors, always. So it didn't matter what we did, right? So, okay, so we went to verse 39. And so like we almost done with this. Let me get 28 and 41 through 44 real quick. We gonna fly through these real quick.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 41.
41 through 44.
Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity.
Okay, so that's being real blatant right there. We already got into that. Once we got here, our babies were stripped from our hands, their mother's teeth, everything. They were taken and they were put into a different plantation where they wouldn't even know who were their parents, where they came from, or whatever happened. And that's how we were easily being able to lose our ways too, lose our traditions, and lose our memory of who we actually are, being God's chosen people. We were able to lose those things because they got us at a young age. The same thing that they do to us today. That's why they teach all of this heathenistic stuff in schools. All this traumatizing sexual oriented stuff. Try to teach you all the different, oh, you can be whatever gender you want and all that stuff. They teach you at a young age so that they get you as a generation. They're going to develop you as a generation, not just as a people, but as a generation, because the old will die off. And their memory will die with it. But as long as they got your children and they're able to create whatever doctrine they want within your children, that's why it's crazy that people in our Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American people are so easily deceived and willing to just go with whatever this nation gives us. They could tell us that your gender doesn't exist. You can be whatever you want to be, and we'll just believe it. Not even looking between our legs. You know what I'm saying? We'll just believe it. We'll just be like, okay, well, gender doesn't exist. You have to roll with the punches. You have to go with whatever they're teaching you. Just roll with the punches. And we did that. But go ahead, keep going.
All thy trees and fruit of thy land shall be locusts consumed. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
Right. So that's what happened with us and our oppressors. Like everything that we built, everything that we stood for, everything that we represented was taken, and it was destroyed. And it wasn't until we start pushing this truth back in 1969 is when we were able to even know that we were God's chosen people, know what our nationality was, what our heritage was. We didn't know who we were. We didn't know we didn't know anything. We were too busy being deceived by all the churches. You know what I'm saying? But keep going.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee.
What verse are you on?
Verse 45.
Verse 45, you can stop right there. So, that's just the opposite of what was supposed to happen, other than us serving the Most High and us being the head and them being the tail. We ended up being the tail and them being the head because we decided to stop serving. We decided not to follow the Most High's covenant that he gave to us, his laws, his statutes, and commandments. The covenant that he gave us, we decided to break that law, and we decided that it wasn't good enough for us, so we were stuck with heathens being over us, right? So go to 47 through 50 real quick.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God.
Okay, so this is the reason, right? Because we did not serve the Most High God. Keep going.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness.
Because we weren't happy with serving the Most High. We weren't pleased with serving the Most High. We weren't pleased with what the Most High demanded us to do. Keep going.
And with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore, thou shalt not serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Okay, you could take that literal, or you can just take it as far as just him putting us in a position where we have no choice but to serve him. Either we serve him or we die. Or you could take it literal, because we did actually have yokes around of our necks. In captivity. But all in all, these are the things that was going to happen to us because we didn't serve the Lord in good spirits, in joyfulness. And we felt like it was a bad thing. We felt like it was a burden because we didn't serve the Lord with joy. We had to serve him in nakedness and hunger. and all these different things. Like, you know what I mean? All these different things. We had to serve our oppressors in the most uncomfortable way because we weren't comfortable serving the Most High in the ways that He instructed us to serve Him. Now it's just like you think about it, just like, okay, well, I'd rather serve the Lord in the instructions that He gave me and following a lifestyle of righteousness, or should I just live wickedly, naked, serving under some goddamn heathen who's just going to kill me and rape me and rob for me anyways. I'm gonna serve him naked and in hunger. He's not gonna feed me. He's not gonna take care of me. He's just gonna treat me any type of way. But because I was so uncomfortable serving the Lord in the little things that He asked us to do, you know what I mean? Now I have to serve our oppressors in this type of way. It just makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. It like, why not just serve the Lord in the ways that He commanded us to serve Him and be in a comfortable state, be in rulership, other than serving our oppressors in hunger and shame and nakedness and suffering. It's just like you don't see those options in front of you, but the Lord gives you those options. Either you're gonna serve me like this or you're gonna serve them like that, right? But keep going.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck,
Right.
until he have destroyed thee. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Right. So, you know what I mean, you look at America, like even their spirit animal is the eagle. You know what I'm saying? Like it is the eagle. They reveal them who they are right in your face, and you don't even realize it because you don't understand the scriptures, right? But keep going.
A nation of fierce countenance.
A nation of fierce countenance, and they've been nothing but fierce to us since they got here. They almost destroyed all of our native brothers and sisters. They killed, robbed, and raped almost like half our population. You know what I mean? And by the, how can I say, by the, what's the word I'm looking for? By the grace of the Most High, we're still on this earth, because if it was up to them, they would have killed all of us. If it was up to them, we would all be dead at this moment. There would be no, oh yes, a couple of million of us out here and we still out here on the four corners of the earth. It would not be none of that. If it was up to them and they could do what they pleased, and if the Most High didn't have any type of grace on us, we would all be destroyed, down to the last one of us. And don't make it seem like it's not possible, because you've seen what they did to our native brothers and sisters. They damn near destroyed all of them. You know what I mean? So we can't make it seem as if it's not a possibility, because they made it a possibility when they got here. But keep going.
Which shall a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor shew favor to the young. That's verse 50.
Verse 59. Don't keep going. So we already got into that. You know what I mean? I already said, you know what I mean, they wouldn't show any type of, you know what I mean, they wouldn't show any type of mercy to the young or the old. And that's, you know what I mean, it's this picture I got in my phone. It's like, you know what I mean, it's the KKK gang, all on older black women and black men. They're about probably like 85, 90 years old, sitting in their little rocking chairs on the porch. And there's this KKK dude dressed up like Santa Claus, and the rest of them all got their regular white hoodies and all that stuff like that. And they all behind this black couple who are sitting down. So like, if I probably should go to the picture real quick just to show it. But you know what I mean? Like, it's like they're showing you that they have absolutely no mercy for whoever. It does not matter who you are, how young you are, how old you are. They're either going to grab you by the feet. I mean, the things that they did to our children, grabbing them by the feet, busting their heads against the stones, freaking, it's like busting our heads against the trees, and you know what I mean, using our babies as freaking alligator bait and all that stuff like that to make some alligator shoes. Like, you know what I mean? Like they would take a baby from the slave shacks just to, you know what I mean, just to put the baby on a line, throw the baby in the river just so the alligators can use it, just to use it as alligator bait, so the alligators can eat it. You know what I mean? Like these are infant babies. And the reason why they did that is because they have no mercy between the young or the old. You know what I mean? They treated our young and old the same way that they treated us, because it didn't matter how old you were. You were just a dog to them. You were just a piece of, so like it should be coming up right now. You were just a piece of trash to them. You know what I mean? And this is how they treated us. So like it. Let's see real quick. If I don't find it within like the next 10 seconds, I'm just about to just give up. Oh, here it is right here. So like it. Let me try to. But if you can see this right here, let me see if you can. You know what I mean? You got the old couple right here, and then you got the KKK members lined up behind the old couple. Now, what happened after that picture? I don't know. I don't know what happened to those people. I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? This is, you know what I mean? They look damn near 90 years old. You know what I mean? They don't care about your age. You know what I mean? They don't care. They didn't care about your age. They didn't care about nothing. You know what I mean? Oh, matter of fact, here we go right here. Speaking of the devil. You can see that. That's a baby picking cotton. Baby probably ain't even 2 years old. Probably still one. Picking cotton. I mean, these are examples of what happened to us as a people. You know what I'm saying? This is what happened. Young and old. That's crazy how they was like back to back on my phone. Like, but yeah, like I mean, it's nothing funny. It's nothing to laugh at. It's none of that. But it's something that we dealt with as we were being established within being under oppression, under our oppressors, right? But where are we at right now?
Verse 51.
51. I don't think I wanted you to read 51. Let me see. Yeah, actually go to 53. Read to 50. No. You said 51? No. Read Deuteronomy 52 through 53.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 52. And now, Salaki, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustest throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land.
So if you go into our native brothers and sisters, what happened? It didn't start off as us just being in war with our oppressors. They came in and we thought that they were being friendly at first, until we knew exactly what they are and who they were and what their plans were actually to do to us. We thought that they were coming, you know what I mean, with kind hearts, but really war was on their heart, right? So we thought it was all fine and gravy when they got over here, and then when they got over here, you already seen what he was planning. You already seen what they were planning. They were planning to take over, enslave, to take over this land, right? And they accomplished just that. But keep going.
And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord thy God hath given thee. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and thy daughters, which the Lord thy God hath given thee, in the siege and in the straitness.
Wherewith?
And in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee.
Okay. So let's keep going. Verse 60 through 62.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 60. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee, until thou be destroyed.
So what were some of the diseases that we had in freaking Egypt? You know what I mean? They were trying to kill our babies. You know what I mean? Well, they were killing our babies, Salakia. They were killing our babies. They were enslaving us. We were working for nothing. You know what I mean? We were in full-on captivity. And those are some of the diseases that the Lord is talking about. You know what I mean? Or it could be, you know what I mean, actual diseases. You know what I'm saying? Like, because, you know what I mean, they came with blankets full of smallpox just for us. You know what I'm saying? It's depending on where you want to take it, but it's all measured up into the same situation. You know what I'm saying? The same captivity that we were facing in Egypt, we're facing right here today. You know what I mean? America is the new Egypt. And then they try to make you feel comfortable enough to the point where you feel like you're involved or you're accepted, but really you're just another slave, right? So what was that? You pretty much got done with that, right? 62? You finished 62?
I'm starting.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and do 62.
Verse 62. And ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy God.
Right. So we left with few in number. We don't have the numbers to rise above this nation or the technology or the weapons or anything like that. We don't have none of that to rise against this nation. You know what I mean? So we'll be under captivity until Christ returns. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way we be able to get out of this captivity. You know what I mean? But let me get verse 68, and that'll be done with that, with the curses.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
Right.
And so man.
Go ahead. Keep going.
And no man shall buy you.
No man shall buy you. I mean, no man is going to try to get you out of this hell that you are in, this captivity that you're in. No man is going to uprise and say, okay, I'm about to do it for the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They make it seem as if President Lincoln, which is a lie, you know what I mean, because President Lincoln was just all for his union. That was it. He didn't really give a damn about slavery or if slavery was cruel or anything. He didn't give a damn about that. He was more so worried about his position, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? It was politics. It had nothing to do with us. So no man would buy us, right? No man would try to save us out, and which man has? Even when Mandela got out of prison, you know what I'm saying? And they asked him, like, what are you going to do about the so-called Africans in America? You know what I'm saying? They asked him, what are you going to do about the Africans in America? You know what I mean? He said, I'm only worried about my people, and that's it. I can only save my people, and I'm only worried about my people. He knew already that we weren't a part of his nation. We didn't understand that, and we didn't care, but he knew. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? No man has really stood up for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in this place to get us free from here. You know what I'm saying? Get us to tell us who our true heritage is and what our true heritage is and who we are exactly. No man has ever stepped up other than this body of Christ that we're in right now. You know what I mean? Commander General Yohana has made it his life to save Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And we follow right behind them, and we go out of our way to do the same thing. But that man is the leader of Israel at this moment. You know what I mean? At this time period. And he has shown so much sacrifice and so much diligency that we're able to even have this structure that we got right now, being able to have all these schools within all of America. You know what I mean? Waking up brothers and sisters in every territory, in every state, showing who God's true chosen people are. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we can get into that which is what we like. We're going into breaking the curses, right? In order to break that captivity that we were in during the days of Moses, we needed that leader, which was Moses. We needed that government structure. You know what I mean? And this is what the Isupk is all about. We got Commander General Yohana. We got the 12 shield generals. We got the 13 shield generals. We got the captains. We have the officers. We have the troopers. You know what I'm saying? This is a government. This is a government. And this is the way that Christ's government will be established. You know what I'm saying? And have a problem with it or don't have a problem with it. It doesn't matter. This is prophesied that this will happen. You know what I mean? And this is the way that it goes. So in order to break the curses, what do we need to do? What do we need to do? It's real simple. You know what I mean? First of all, you know what I mean? We need to gather ourselves together. Gather ourselves together, you know what I mean, and be a part of one body in Christ. You know what I'm saying? One body, not a whole bunch of separated bodies, and this person wants to do this, and this person wants to believe in this, and this person only because of their feelings, they want to stick to this. No, we be a part of one body, Christ's teachings, and stick to Christ's teachings, right? What else do we need to do? We gather ourselves together, and then we plead and we cry on to the mercy of the Lord. You know what I mean? Just like they did in the days of Moses. Just like they did in the days of Moses. You know what I mean? Like Commander General Yohana hadn't, like the way that he had his speech last Passover. You know what I mean? When everything got silent for a second, and he called on to the Lord and pleaded to the Lord that we are ready to get out of this captivity. You know what I mean? That we are asking for forgiveness for everything that we did, everything that we done to turn our face from the Most High. We apologize for that. Like you gotta I wanted to get the clip, but I wasn't able to find it earlier. But you got to look at Commander General Yohana's speech from last Passover in Houston, Texas, right? And you look at the way that he was pleading to the Lord. You know what I mean? That's a true leader right there. That is a true leader, and that's someone who understands the scriptures. Because in the days of Moses, you know what I mean, in order for the Most High to even put his foot forward to get Israel out of captivity, they had to cry and plead upon the Most High that we are completely sorry. You know what I mean? And we are begging we're begging for freedom out of this captivity. You know what I mean? That's a man who understands these scriptures, right? That's a true leader right there. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the amount of people you bring in, because everybody's not going to be saved. You know what I mean? 2/3 of us are going to have to die. And that's just because of the situation. People just do not want to follow the Most High. And that's not our fault. All we can do is work and do what we do. But all in all, at the end of the day, we need to establish getting ourselves together. You know what I mean? Gathering ourselves together, following the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments, high holy days, all that, everything. You know what I mean? Everything that the Lord put into this covenant that we need to follow. You know what I mean? We need to follow those things. We need to get into the body and follow those things. And we need to plead for mercy. Plead for mercy. And that's the only way that you're going to be able to move the Most High's, you know what I mean, move them to be able to show his power onto this nation and to be able to destroy the people who have destroyed us, right? And that's it. I mean, it don't take much to know about what it takes to get out of this captivity. It's real easy. You know what I mean? But following the laws, statutes, and commandments is the bare minimum. You got to work. You got to get out here and work. You got to open the eyes of your people. You know what I'm saying? And you can't do it the wrong way with your false doctrines and your false narratives and all that stuff. You got to get in the body. It's just one body. There's only one body. There's not two. There's not three. This ain't no damn Trinity. It's only one body. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. But the water for y'all tuning in. We're about to head up out of here. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Brakathum to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar, the thumb by Shem Yahshua to the sisters. The water for y'all tuning in. Appreciate it. Wait a minute. You know how to do a salute, right?
Well,
You sure? Because I want him to start learning it. Let's come here. I want him to get in. I want him to start learning what to salute. I'll tell you how to do it. Right. Come over here. You gonna say, man of Israel, Amijam?
Men of Israel, Amijam,
Which means to stand.
Sorry, face the teacher.
All right.
One courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amijam, Amijam Shabbat, Amijam, Barak,
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Barakatah. Yajim Tal.
Yajim Tah,
Class dismissed.
Class dismissed.
That's how we do it.